Here's why MMA and the UFC is one of the best sports to make a betting model for. So, there's been a lot of hype recently around people making AI and statistical models for predicting sports. One guy in particular is Data by Farrell. He's been blowing up on TikTok right now. He is a model for the NFL, but I wanted to explain why the UFC is maybe the best place to make a model for. The first reason is that there's just less competition. People have been making models to predict and bet NFL and MLB games for such a long time. The UFC is a newer sport and there's less information around it. So there's less competition and it's easier to find your edge. On top of that, the data is not nearly as available in the UFC as it is for other sports. So you kind of have to be more creative. But if you are able to find that data, you can really find good edges. The second reason is that the UFC and MMA is an individual sport. With sports like baseball and football, you have to deal with things like having a new season, players coming into a new team, and you have to remodel and configure the statistics every new season. With the UFC, you're just tracking the stats for each individual across their whole career, and you can just keep building on top of that for each individual fighter. You don't have to rebuild the stats every season, every time someone gets hurt, things like that. And lastly, a big reason that the UFC is such a good sport to make a betting model for is that it's year round. You don't have to wait for new seasons to start for teams to sign and trade all their players and be able to build whenever the teams are settled. You're just tracking the players. There's events almost every weekend. So you're able to really fine tune and continue building on it year round. I have a model for predicting UFC fights. These are the back tested results for it. You can see the ROIs above 10%, which is really solid. I have an app for it as well called Fantasy Fights, where I share the predictions for every fight and share all the best bets from it. In the app, you can see all the predictions like this. So for each fight, it says what probability each fighter has to win and by method as well. So decision, KO, and submission. And then on top of that, the AI gives its best bets for each card. You can also use the predictions to come up with your own bets as well. You can search up Fantasy Fights in the App Store or use the link down below to get the app to view every prediction for every card and get all the best bets.